Beaches have the power to relax your soul and mind. Both tourists and locals spend most of their time at the beach, either enjoying the sun, while sipping on a cocktail, or partaking in some sort of water activity. It's not hard to imagine that a few beaches can also be known for unexpected things, such as being bitten by a shark, or even a prime location for a bomb site. Well, today we will be looking at the 10 most dangerous beaches in the world. Number 1. Kilauea Beach, Hawaii. Black sand beaches are very beautiful, and so is this beach. One of the reasons we go to a vacation is to experience the immense heat. Lying on the beach when it's chilly is just disappointing. However, the location of this beach is near a volcano, which poses a threat to tourists and locals, regardless of its amazing charm. The volcano has been erupting continuously for the past 35 years, and the lava hurls forth in volumes into the waters, roads, and the areas surrounding the local community. The water temperature is as high as 100 degrees during the day, due to the heat from the volcano, which is difficult to withstand, even in the coldest of winters. Number 2. Bikini Atoll, U.S. Marshall Islands. The beautiful beaches of the South Pacific Island are infinitely safer than they were 60 years ago. Back in the 1950s, this small island was the site of a series of nuclear tests carried out by the United States. One of them being the Castle Bravo test, which was the biggest test explosion ever carried out by the Americans. The scariest part about all this was, the explosion was roughly 3 times more powerful than scientists were expecting, at a massive 15 megatons, 1,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. What surprised scientists was the huge amount of radioactive fallout, which contaminated 7,000 square miles of the surrounding Pacific Ocean. Not only did this kill some of the crew of a nearby Japanese fishing boat, and poison those on several nearby islands, it has rendered Bikini Atoll uninhabitable ever since. Today, however, tourism has made something of a return to the island, and it has become a popular dive site, with all those sunken ships, and a massive crater in the lagoon. It is believed that the fictional location of SpongeBob SquarePants' home, Bikini Bottoms, is actually Bikini Atoll. This would go some way to explain the strange storyline. Number 3, Sheerness, United Kingdom. Located at the mouth of the River Thames, Sheerness is the typical example of a somewhat faded British seaside town. On the face of it, there is nothing remarkable about Sheerness beachfront, no obvious dangers, or sense of impending doom. But this is a town sitting on a time bomb, quite literally. In August of 1944, towards the end of World War II, the American cargo ship, SS Richard Montgomery, was situated at the sandbank, around a mile off Sheerness. The ship was carrying around 1,500 tons of highly explosives, in the form of various types of bombs, before being shipwrecked near the coastline. Some of the ammunitions were recovered initially, but the vast majority remain on board, considered far too dangerous to move, and only becoming more volatile as time goes by. It is estimated that, if the cargo was to explode, it would be one of the largest non-nuclear explosions of all time. The effects would be similar to a small tsunami, causing structural damage to buildings in Sheerness. Number 4. Hot Spy, South Africa. Another beautiful spot, with miles of white sand and dramatic cliffs. So beautiful in fact, that you'd think working for the tourist office would be a breeze. It has all these amazing features surrounding it. However, it is most notably known for being the great white shark capital of the world. Who wouldn't want to visit? Well, people who are afraid of sharks for one. Maybe it's just me, but selling a beach as being the shark capital of the world is a bit like selling a restaurant as being a cockroach's headquarter. Having said that, people from around the world who love the thrill of it travel all the way to South Africa just to go diving in a cage, risking their lives to meet these deadly creatures. Personally, I'd rather watch them from home, through a screen. Number 5. Praia do Norte, Nazare, Portugal. Nazare is one of the oldest and most popular holiday resorts on Portugal's Atlantic coast. Every summer, the beaches of the traditional fishing village become a mecca for Portuguese families out on holiday. It has a very deep oceanic trench from the deep water below near the coast. The effect of this funnels huge Atlantic swells of enormous waves straight to the town's north beach. The biggest waves ever surfed at that region is a whopping 30 meters. Such waves are potentially lethal to the most experienced of surfers kitted out with specialist equipment, let alone the average beachgoer. Whilst the waves at Nazare are not always bigger than most houses, they are often large, and powerful enough to make them a danger to all, except the most experienced of surfers. Number 6. Fraser Island, the Sweet Sinners. Fraser Island stretches over 123 kilometers in length, and 22 kilometers at its widest point. With an area of 184,000 hectares, it is the largest sand island in the world. Having said that, have you ever thought, a cute little creature like a dog, could take your life? Well, that is not the only little thing that poses danger, on the beaches of Fraser Island. It is also infested with a myriad of jellyfish, lurking in its waters, and has stung many people, who have come here to have fun. Talking about dogs, there is a breed called dingoes, that patrol the beaches, and are known to have attacked humans. There has been 50 reported cases, in the past 5 years. Number 7. Southern Mindanao Islands, Philippines. What happens when you venture off the grid? Well, book a trip to some of the more remote islands, of the Philippines, and you might find out. Away from the tourist destinations like Siargao, you might think there are exciting new places to discover, and you'd be right, but not always exciting, in a good way. The southern end, of the Mindanao Islands, are frequented by the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, who have been in a state of all-out war, with President Estrada, since the year 2000. At one time, in one province, 45% of residents have reported their homes being destroyed, while 16% have known of witnesses to crimes of murder. Therefore, your survival chances as a Western tourist are slim in most areas of the island. Not to mention, there are pirates lurking around the waters nearby, looking for their next prey. Number 8. New Smyrna Beach, Florida. This beach has been given the title of being the shark bite capital of the world. Out of 112 worldwide shark attacks, in 2018, 20 of those happened at Smyrna Beach. The next year it increased to 25. It's basically a party town for sharks. Tourist officials describe the beach as no stranger to attention, which is true, but gaining attention for being attacked by sharks is nothing to boast about. Despite that, it made it onto the list for being the top 10 beach towns in Florida. One of the selling points of this beach is that you are able to drive onto the beach, so if the sharks don't get you, maybe the cars might. Number 9. North Sentinel Island. This island technically falls under the jurisdiction of India, but effectively, it is independent, as the natives have never submitted themselves to any other authority. In fact, they are unwelcoming to tourists, which might pose a problem. At one point, the Indian government did try to get in contact with them by landing peacefully and leaving them with gifts. However, they were pelted with arrows, and eventually gave up contacting them. There was a recent incident, whereby an American tourist tried to visit the tribe. He was killed by a number of poisonous arrows. His body is yet to be retrieved. The Sentinels are almost entirely unknown. They have a different name for themselves, one that is unknown to us. There's somewhere between 25 and 500 of them, although these figures could be wildly inaccurate. They appear primitive, although with the paucity of knowledge we have, it's possible that they have their own version of the internet, run on supercomputers in those trees. One thing is certain, they don't like outsiders, and they are very dangerous. Number 10. Hanaakea Beach, Hawaii. The beautiful and secluded Hanaakea Beach is located on Kauai's Napali coast. However, when you do make the long hike along the trail through the woods, you will be greeted with a warning sign, which keeps a tally of the number of people who have died. The number currently stands at over 80 people. The Hanaakea Beach is one of the most dangerous places on Earth to go for a dip, owing to a combination of factors. Firstly, there are no lifeguards, with no one else to help. But this alone offers no explanation to the shocking number of drownings. Unlike much of the Hawaiian coastline, there is no offshore reef to provide shelter from the power of the ocean, but it is the strong riptides, which are the killer. These unseen currents, formed by the water, are swift, and it is almost impossible to swim against them. The only way out is to swim across for miles on end.